Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today is Tuesday, March 26, 2024. This is our Administrative Matters meeting. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. My name is John Kafalis, Commissioner from District 1, joined by my Commissioner colleagues, Kristen Stevens from District 2, and Jody Shattuck McNally from District 3. Across the way, we have Heather from the Clerk and Recorder's Office, who takes notes and records this public meeting, our County Manager, Lorinda Volker, and Tom from our Public Affairs Office, and Sarah from our Board of County Commissioners Office. Thank you all for being here. The first item on our agenda is public comment. It does not look like anyone has signed up, and I don't believe we have anyone who registered yesterday and has called in. Is that correct, Sarah?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you. So before we close public comment, just want to give folks a chance if they wish to offer public comment and may not have signed up. Don't all raise your hands at once. It's okay. All right, then we'll close public comment and we'll move on to the next item, which is approval of the minutes for March 18th. Commissioner Stevens, would you offer the motion, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair. I move to approve the minutes for the week of March 18th, 2024.
Great. Thank you very much. That's a proper motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Next item on the agenda, moving right along, is a review of next week's schedule. Sarah, I believe you're on.
This is the Commissioner's schedule for April 1st through the 6th, 2024. On Monday, April 1st, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may attend the Behavioral Health Policy Council, Consumer Advisory Committee, and Technical Advisory Committee meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be at the Behavioral Health Services at 2260 West Trilby Road in Fort Collins, or virtually via Zoom. From 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be a work session for a quarterly update on the 2024 to 2028 strategic plan in the Commissioner's Conference Room on the second floor. From 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., there will be a work session with Leslie Ellis, Director of Community Planning, Infrastructure, and Resources, in the Commissioner's Conference Room on the second floor. From 2 p.m. to 3:15 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will speak to the Front Range Community College American State and Local Government class at 4616 South Shield Street in Fort Collins. On Tuesday, April 2nd, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., there will be an Administrative Matters meeting in the hearing room on the first floor. From 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m., there will be Administrative Direction to County Management in the Sprague Lake Conference Room on the second floor. From 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., Commissioners will attend the 4-H Youth and Community Arena Ribbon Cutting Ceremony at the Ranch at 5280 Arena Circle in Loveland. From 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioners Kafalis and Shattuck McNally may attend the Poudre School District Celebrate Staff and Awards Night at the Lincoln Center at 417 West Magnolia Street in Fort Collins. From 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Parks Advisory Board meeting at the Department of Natural Resources Administrative Offices at 1800 South County Road 31 in Loveland. On Wednesday, April 3rd, from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the Thompson Education Foundation Trailblazing Thompson Salute to Excellence at the Embassy Suites Loveland at 4705 Clydesdale Parkway in Loveland. From 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m., there will be a work session for Behavioral Health Services to present the 2024 Impact Fund Grant Program in the Commissioner's Conference Room on the second floor. From 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis may attend the ACT Human Rights Film Festival at the Laurie Student Center Theater at 1101 Center Avenue Mall in Fort Collins. From 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may attend the North Interstate 25 Coalition meeting, location to be determined. On Thursday, April 4th, from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., Commissioner Kafalis will host a community conversation for the Wellington-Waverly communities. Guests will be Aaliyah Rodriguez, Larimer County Housing Stability Program Manager, Lee Cooper, Veterans Services Officer for the Larimer County Department of Workforce Development, and Kyle McPherson, the Director of Residential Programs at Harvest Farm, who will discuss homelessness prevention at Avuncular Bob's T-Bar Inn at 3803 West Cleveland Avenue in Wellington. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual National Association of Counties Transportation Committee meeting. From 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may participate in the virtual Counties and Commissioners Acting Together Governing Board meeting. From 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., Commissioner Stevens may attend the Highway 34 Coalition meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it's at the Windsor Community Center at 250 11th Street in Windsor, or virtually via Microsoft Teams. From 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the Colorado School of Public Health at Colorado State University and Larimer County Health and Environment National Public Health Week celebration at the Laurie Student Center in the Longs Peak Room at 1101 Center Avenue Mall in Fort Collins. From 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., Commissioners Kafalis and Shattuck McNally will attend the Overland Trail Chapter Daughters of the American Revolution Patriotic Awards Ceremony at the American Legion Post 4 at 2124 County Road 54G in Fort Collins. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., Commissioner Stevens will attend the North Front Range Metropolitan Planning Council meeting at the Windsor Community Center at 115th Street in Windsor, or virtually via Microsoft Teams. On Friday, April 5th, from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally will attend the virtual Forest Health Council legislative meeting. From 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., Commissioner Kafalis will attend the State Board of Human Services. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be at 1575 Sherman Street in Denver, or virtually via Zoom. From 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., Commissioner Stevens will attend the Regional Air Quality Council Board meeting. It's a hybrid meeting. In person, it'll be on the 4th floor boardroom at 1445 Market Street in Denver, or virtually via Zoom. From 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., Commissioners may attend the virtual Colorado Counties Inc. Legislative Briefing meeting. From 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally may participate in the virtual Colorado Opioid Abatement Council Opioid Outcome Data Workgroup meeting. On Saturday, April 6th, from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., Commissioner Shattuck McNally will attend the Poudre Valley Rural Electrification Administration annual meeting at the Embassy Suites at 4705 Clydesdale Parkway in Loveland. And from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., there will be Common Grounds with Commissioner Shattuck McNally. Guests will be Heidi Pruis, Climate Smart and Sustainability Program Manager, who will give an update on the Larimer County Climate Action Plan at the High Plains Environmental Center at 2698 Blue Stem Willow Drive in Loveland.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for keeping track of all that. Colleagues, do you have any questions or comments? Commissioner Stevens?
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. On Wednesday, April 3rd, I will be going to the Casa Night of Hope, and that is at the Embassy Suites in Loveland, and that's from 5 to 8. So I will probably either miss the I-25 Coalition meeting or go late to that meeting. And then there is a change of venue for the Highway 34 Coalition meeting on Thursday. It's at the Windsor Public Service Building instead. And then Friday, I will, the Regional Air Quality Council Board is in person this time, or at least highly recommended in person, so I will be in person at that meeting. And that is all for me. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Commissioner Shattuck McNally?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Wednesday, April 3rd, I signed up weeks ago. I have had this on my calendar. I am also attending the Thompson Education Foundation Trailblazer. I've done that for 8 years in a row, and so, except for COVID. So just want to make sure that that's publicly noticed. And so that's been on my calendar for a while. And then I may or may not be at the Night of Hope. I have some other conflicting things on a personal schedule, but you might want to just put that on in case I end up going to that event as well with my ticket or not. So to me, wonderful things happening in Larimer County. So thank you.
Thank you. Sarah, the only thing I have is that the Parks Advisory Board meeting on the evening on April 2nd, Tuesday, is typically a hybrid meeting. I don't know if we list that.
I'll confirm that with Melissa.
Thank you. That's all I have. Great. Appreciate all your work to keep track of these things. It helps us to keep track of these things. We'll now move on to the consent agenda, and I'll just say a word about that. So the consent agenda lists various items that are typically routine in nature, administrative in nature. We go through them quickly. The details of the items are on the website, and if folks are inclined, they can look up all the details. So I'll just do a somewhat cursory review of all the items, and the commissioners do have the option of pulling something off the consent agenda. So I'll certainly ask that at the end, but ultimately we would approve a motion to adopt the entire consent agenda. So with that understanding, I will begin. The first two items are abatements, petition for abatement or refund of taxes, and these are dollar amounts that exceed $10,000, refunds to the property owners. In both cases, the tax years that we are looking at are 2023. The next category has to do with agreements. The first agreement is a professional services agreement, P24-01, miscellaneous asphalt, concrete, and construction. This one is between the commissioners of the county and Connell Resources. It is for 1 year starting today through February 28th of 2025, and the total dollar amount depends on the need throughout the term of this agreement. The next is a source water protection forest management MOU or memorandum of understanding and terms and conditions between the Northern Colorado Water Conservancy District and the Larimer County Department of Natural Resources Agreement, number 4937 MOUT. And this is basically an agreement between Northern Water and the county. The two entities will promote source water protection in Northern's protection areas and critical watersheds. Northern will provide the funds to the county to do certain kinds of activities. 1 year from execution date is the term, and the dollar amount is up to $60,000. Protect our watersheds. Item number 3 under agreements. This one is exciting. A grant, they're different degrees of excitement. If you're into concrete or asphalt, maybe that one was exciting, perhaps. Grant agreement, American Rescue Plan Collaborative Projects Grant Subaward for the town of Estes Park. This is an affordable housing project, the Fish Hatchery Workforce Housing. It is housing and childcare. This is a grant agreement for ARPA funds, American Rescue Plan Act funds to the town. The terms are March 19th, 2024 through December 31, 2026, and the dollar amount is $2 million. So this will help contribute to the cost of building that workforce housing, which is greatly needed up in Estes Park area. Number 4, agreement, Colorado Department of Human Services, Behavioral Health Administration funded the Larimer County Co-Responder Services Program contract amendment number 3. So this is between the State Department of Human Services, but Behavioral Health Administration to the Larimer County Co-Responder Services. This is an amendment, and this is required for the state fiscal year 24, which we are currently in, to increase the available funding for the program in the amount of $190,000 from the CDHS Behavioral Health Administration. The terms are July 1, 2023 through the end of the fiscal year, June 30th, and the total dollar amount is $585,000. So this helps with our county co-responder program. Next, we go on to appointments. Recommended appointments to the Paragon Estates Public Improvement District. And this is Mark Anderson, John Smith. Appoint Mark Anderson and John Smith to a full-term appointment to this Public Improvement District, beginning today, ending November 30th, 2027. Then we have liquor licenses. You can see why these things are on the consent agenda. Liquor license new liquor license, Riverside, Colorado, doing business as Poudre Park Market up in the Poudre Canyon. License type fermented malt beverage and wine. Request approval and issuance. The second is the liquor license special event liquor permit, Athletes in Tandem Inc. This is a special events liquor permit, 6% approval and issuance. Third is a liquor license special event liquor permit, Athletes in Tandem, similar special events, so there must be two of them. And then number 4, liquor license renewal, REV Enterprises, in other words, known as Sandy's Convenience Store out there on East Mulberry. This is a renewal and fermented malt beverage and wine. Moving on to miscellaneous, the first item is 2024 legislative priority adoption. We go through a process, and ultimately the three of us agree it becomes an official position, provides descriptions and rationale for the adoption of 4 current bills as official 2024 Larimer County legislative priorities. Those bills are as follows. House Bill 24-1357, having to do with pipeline safety. Senate Bill 24-165, air quality improvements. HB 24-1330, air quality permitting. And Senate Bill 24-166, air quality enforcement. The next 4 items under miscellaneous are what are called stipulations, where there are adjustments to the property value. The property owner, in discussions with the assessor and the clerk and recorder's office, etc., stipulation, and these are for tax year 2023. So there are 4 stipulations. If you want to know more about those, you can look it up. Policies, Larimer County Disaster Policy, submitted by our Director of Office of Emergency Management Director. This is an update to the disaster policy, adding language about faith-based organizations because they are very critical in our operations when there are disaster emergencies. Second is signature authority for county expenditure and revenue commitments, an update to that policy. And finally, we move on to resolutions, and this is a resolution adopting the Larimer County Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan, also submitted by our Office of Emergency Management Director, Lori Hodges. So the 2 plans have been revised and 3 added, and overall these 5 plans comprise the Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan. That is it. Colleagues, do either of you wish to remove anything from the consent agenda? Nope. Then Commissioner Shattuck McNally, your turn for the motion, please.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the consent agenda for March 26, 2024.
Thank you. Proper motion. Don't believe there's further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 That passes 3-0. We'll now move on to commissioners' guests. And Shane, thank you for being here. Thanks for your work. We don't have anyone listed, but we do know we have guests. And let's see, Commissioner Shattuck McNally, do you want to cue this up? And
Sure, and just a quick add, Mr. Chair, for next week on our commissioner guests, I will have a guest. I haven't let you know that yet, but I thought I'd do it now. I will have Tina Harris, the Larimer County Clerk and Recorder, come next week to give an update on the latest elections that she has certified and those things, and so she'll come next week. But yes, certainly would love to cue this up, and thank you for that honor, Mr. Chair. Very excited about these staff and this opportunity to showcase and honor our wonderful, amazing staff here in Larimer County. Last Friday, Lorenda Volker, our county manager, Commissioner Kafalis, and myself attended Project Self-Sufficiency fundraiser, and I'm trying to think, Bring the Power Social, I think it was. I was just looking that up. And it's a great organization, and first want to congratulate Delilah, who was one of the folks who was showcased for graduating from that program. She also was a featured Women's Give participant and a CSU student, and just a phenomenal person, and I just wanted to congratulate her on her work. But we also were there, and I was looking for some of the names. You'll have to remind me some of the names. But our Larimer County and our Department of Human Services and our Department of Economic and Workforce Development were honored with a 2024 Vision Maker Award. And there is a long list of very distinguished folks who have received that award, and just really proud of the work that they do every day to change people's lives, but to have them be recognized and elevated for their phenomenal work was just really an honor and privilege to be there, and just super proud, and wanted to just glad we could take a moment to have them come and we could recognize them. And congratulations again, and thank you to Project Self-Sufficiency for all the things they do in this community, for a wonderful event, and thank you for recognizing our outstanding staff. And I didn't know if Lorenda had something to add, because you might have remembered some of the other awardees, but I hope I got that all covered. But it was really a very inspiring evening. So
it was amazing, and I've Tracy Mead, the CEO of Project Self-Sufficiency, is here, and I wonder if she might speak a little bit about the award and why our staff was chosen, and then maybe our staff might want to say a few things about the work that they do in connection with Project Self-Sufficiency.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's great to be here. As Lorenda mentioned,
would you identify yourself for the record?
I sure can. I'm Tracy Mead. I am here representing Project Self-Sufficiency of Northern Colorado. We are a human services organization that specifically supports single-parent families, low-income single-parent families. And we've worked in Larimer County for more than 35 years, and now we've transitioned to work in Weld County as well. As Commissioner Shattuck McNally shared, each year we recognize a partner in the community that helps us, that's instrumental in accomplishing our mission. And this year, we did recognize Larimer County, specifically the Departments of Human Services and Economic and Workforce Development. And I just want to read a couple of excerpts from what I shared last Friday, because I think it demonstrates the impact that those two departments have had on our work. So the county, and specifically these two departments, have expanded our impact in so many ways, from the administration of programs important to the actual survival of our families, to training and employment services, to hosting our CARS program in its early stages many years ago, and I'm sure many more things that I'm not aware of. They are a true partner in our work. They are a go-to resource for expertise, resources, and connections. Our work with their teams is an excellent example of high-impact alignment and collaboration towards the same desired outcomes for single-parent families. Without the expertise and resources both departments bring to our work, we could never fully execute on our mission. And I am beyond grateful for their impact, past and ongoing. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy. This would be a wonderful opportunity if Heather or someone from Economic and Workforce would like to come up and say a few words. And then we'll see if the commissioners have anything they'd like to say.
Good morning. I'm Vanessa Fuel, Division Manager with the Department of Human Services. Huge thanks to Tracy and Project Self-Sufficiency. In thinking about the partnership and the impact of the partnership, I can't help but think of the families. We have families who come in to the Benefits and Community Support Division looking for help, and a lot of times they don't know what kind of help that even is. I'm struggling and I need some help. So when they come in, we get them connected with the benefits for which they're eligible. That includes Medicaid, food assistance, sometimes cash assistance. And then sometimes they say, now I need a little more. And that's where our partnerships with Economic and Workforce Development Department come in, and Project Self-Sufficiency. We often many of the families that come in are already working, but they need some additional help with maybe training. Maybe they want to pursue a new path that they haven't had the opportunity to explore. We partner with Economic and Workforce Development Department on internships that might be available for an individual to explore a career path that maybe they hadn't had the opportunity to otherwise. And then connecting them with the other services with Project Self-Sufficiency. So together, the partnership strengthens the wraparound that we can offer to families. And then connecting those families with childcare, because we know that if we can connect the children to a safe place to be, that allows those single parents to be able to pursue their dreams as well. And those early childhood education experiences are valuable for those children in trying to break the cycle of poverty. So I think this partnership really means a lot to me in how we serve our families collectively to build the rungs of that ladder for anyone who comes into the department.
Thank you, Vanessa. Welcome, Marcy.
Thank you. My name is Marcy Kasner. I'm the Associate Director of Workforce Development. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to be there Friday, but I can tell you I've had a long history with Project Self-Sufficiency, and the partnership has been very meaningful. I go way back when I was a TANF coach and participated in the car giveaways, and there was nothing quite like that moment when a family got a car. I can still see their faces. The partnership with Department of Human Services is quite robust. In fact, we recently received notice that they were awarded top in the state for their service with families, Larimer County, and their staff sent that over to our staff to recognize that partnership. So this very robust partnership between Project Self-Sufficiency, Department of Human Services, and our department is really something that we're very proud of and very honored to receive this award. Thank you.
Thank you very much, colleagues. So we'll take a moment now. Commissioner Stevens, anything you'd like to, or if you have any questions of Tracy or any of the folks who spoke, or certainly comments.
Yeah, sorry I wasn't able to attend the event, but congratulations to our Workforce and Human Services departments for the work that you do. This is really a testament to the fact that you go above and beyond. I mean, I feel like from the beginning when I started here, Human Services was like, how can we do more? How can we do more outreach? How can we get out to places where we need to be so people can get these services? And so I've always seen a department that's proactive, that engages with community partners. And so I'm so glad you all received this award, because I see you doing this work every day. And so it's nice to be acknowledged for it. I mean, I know in speaking to all of you that you would do this work anyway. You don't necessarily need the acknowledgement. It's work that you do from your heart, but man, it makes a difference in our community, and I'm glad that Project Self-Sufficiency acknowledged that as well. So keep up the good work. I know it's hard work. I know the people that work for you work really, really hard, but you help people at often their lowest moments, and that's so That's just so important, and I've said it before, but it's some of the most important work that we do is lift people up in our community, and you do that every day. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for doing that work. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. Commissioner Shaddock McNally, anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Tracy, for being here today, and thanks for the opportunity. 35 years of being a pillar in the community, really, if you think about all the work that you've done and all the families' lives you have changed and the legacy and the ripples of all that work, really, when they talk about pillars, it's about trust and working together, collaboration. So to me, Project Self-Sufficiency and some of our other organizations, nonprofits in the community are really pillars of the community because you're on the ground doing work because this is important work, it's hard work, and you do it in such a way to empower people and give them the skills and show that the community cares and empower them, provide, empower their perseverance, their grit. Being a single parent is really tough. Sometimes, when I was raising my kids, I was like, I'm so grateful I had a partner, and it's just, I think about those families, and I have a lot of friends that are single parents, and just trying to think about that and giving them, a little break or something. And I just want to thank you first for just the lifetime of changes you have made for all these families. It's really important. And then to collaborate with, allowing us to collaborate with you, because it is together, all of us working together. It's a tapestry, which I call the Larimer way. There's no one can do this work alone. And success is, I think Margaret Mead never, take for granted a small group of people coming together, what they can accomplish. And I thought about that on Friday, just all those people in the room, there are so many great faces, and how much our community, there's so many people who lead with their hearts and go above and beyond and do those things that some of us think, well, can we really do this, right? And I heard another speech on Saturday, which I kind of connected that, never doubt what you can do. It was a former county commissioner from Boulder, Josie Heath, and all the work that she had done. And she said, never doubt, what you can do. And isn't it great that you get to do something you love and you get to do something that you feel like matters, and what a joy that is to have in your life. And so I just wanted to say thank you for letting me share in your work and joy. I'm truly proud. Our team and the team that Heather, Laura, and just all of you in workforce development, just so critical for the work that we do, important work that sometimes we take for granted because you guys do it every day. And it seems, I know it's not effortless, but for us, you all just they all come together and it just goes forward, and you're like, wow, look what they're doing. So I just want to say, well done. Thank you for the recognition. Thank you for the team for the work that you do and partnering with such a great organization. And aren't we so fortunate that Larimer County has such great partnerships, and just really, truly gratitude from my heart. And thank you all for being here today.
So I'll say a few things, and I'm a big fan of Project Self-Sufficiency, or those of us who've been around PSS, although I understand we're not supposed to say that in public. I learned that Friday night.
I'm glad. My team set me straight, John.
So, again, just to echo what my colleagues have said, but I do want to share very quickly some numbers that were in the program that we received on Friday night. I think it's important because I think this community-based organization is very effective in doing what its mission says it should be doing. So, for example, in 2023, the impact, 126 single parents with 225 children, 14 degrees and certificates earned, 85% retention rate for our participants, 63% first-generation college students. I think that's really wonderful. And furthermore, each year Project Self-Sufficiency provides over $500,000 in wraparound support to assist single-parent families enrolled in its self-power model. I think Vanessa alluded to that, and the collaboration. In 2023, Project Self-Sufficiency awarded $212,500 in strengthened scholarship awards to 52 single parents to cover education and living expenses. And Marcy mentioned this, but in 2023, PSS, or Project Self-Sufficiency, awarded 15 cars to participants, literally keeping them on the road to success. And I'll just mention that for those who may be inclined to support Project Self-Sufficiency, they are designated as an enterprise zone contribution project. And I also believe if you contribute, you can also benefit from the child care contribution tax credit program. So there are opportunities for that. In closing, it was nice to see a longtime friend of mine, Nicole, who's still with the organization, and I think one of the people she worked with, Marquita, was highlighted, and Nicole's been around since kind of the beginning, and also, of course, it was nice to see Mary, one of the previous executive directors. So I believe now it is. Oh, Lorinda, anything else? Any wisdom you have for us? Something powerful, since that's our theme right now.
Sure. I think what I'll say is when Tracy reached out to me to let me know that these teams had been selected, it really struck me that it's not often that a nonprofit recognizes a government agency. And I think that is really striking for the community. I think it works in Larimer County because these folks all just focus on the outcome. No one's looking for credit. Everyone's trying to lift the community. And we know as a force multiplier, partnerships are really critical. And so thank you for the recognition. Thank you all for the work you do every day. We don't say it nearly enough. We know that it's some of the hardest work that we do in the county, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks, Lorinda, and I'm glad I asked you to say a few words because obviously our human services folks and our workforce development folks, I mean, it's a collaboration, and I mean, it's just a beautiful thing, and that is how we support people in making their decisions to overcome barriers and ultimately lead towards more financial security, which is not always an easy thing to do. So thank you so much, Lorinda. Why don't we pause for a minute? This is my favorite time of the morning, and that is to take pictures. So we'll pause. You guys have those cool plaques, and we'll take a picture or two. Thank you. Line broadcast and resume our administrative matters meeting. Interestingly, we do not have any discussion items. Therefore, we'll move into the county manager update and then commissioner activity reports. Lorenda?
Thank you, Commissioner. So I did my typical interaction with 3 of our municipal partners, Windsor, Johnstown, and Timnath last week. We meet regularly to make sure that we're sharing good information and that we are coordinating on projects. Those are always great meetings. I also attended Climate Smart and Future Ready Milestone Celebration with you all, which I think let you all speak a little more about. I think that's an important thing that you had on all of your work plans initially. I also was able to attend with you the fleet topping out ceremony. Those are always really nice events to thank the workers who put the building together, and it's a celebration of that construction project. It's not done yet, of course. We won't be into that building until October or so, but a milestone in having that last beam installed is always a nice thing, and it's nice to say thank you to the folks who are making it happen. And then finally, Commissioner Kafalis and I had an opportunity to speak at Larimer 101. It is a wonderful class this year. They're very engaged, great questions. I think our public affairs team has done a really good job putting curriculum together. This week, they'll meet with the assessor, the treasurer, and the clerk and recorder. Last week, Commissioner Kafalis opened the session, and then I spoke a bit about county government, and then our budget team did a remarkable job of somehow making budget fun and had everyone laughing and really engaged. And so I want to say a special thanks to that team for the work that they did to explain complicated county budgeting in a way that had everyone really engaged. I think that is all.
Thank you very much, Lorenda. Colleagues, any questions or comments for our county manager? Okay, we'll move on then to the commissioner activity reports. Commissioner Stevens, how about you?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So a busy week last week. I was confirmed by the Senate for the Middle Income Housing Authority Board, so that was nice. That was remotely, but it was still a good experience, and happy to serve on that board where we are really looking to build workforce housing. I also testified on the pipeline safety bill that we today approved as an organization to support, so that was an interesting testimony where I felt myself sort of I won't say under attack, but definitely defending the idea that climate change is real. I had a lot of discussions with the governor's office and Colorado Municipal League and other groups around HB 1313, which is the bill around density in transit-oriented development communities, and 174, which is the affordable housing bill. So we are trying to get amendments and trying to get those in shape to be able to make sure that everybody can work with those bills, including our municipalities. That's been good work. I got to meet with Maggie Switzer, who's the new Farmers Market and Food Systems Coordinator. So she's, I think, planning a lot of good work. And for all those who are paying attention, the Farmers Market will be starting soon. I don't know if I exactly have the date, but it seems like it's in the next couple weeks. So look forward to that. And then we had we went to the ribbon cutting for Bird Whistle, which is new for sale affordable housing. We were a contributor to that project. Commissioner Kafalis gave some remarks about the project, but a really great project of townhomes that will be for, basically workforce housing, but where people can actually build equity and become homeowners, which is out of reach for so many folks in our community, especially middle-income folks. And so this is a great opportunity for, I think, 54 houses? 54, I got that number right. Good. 54 houses for sale. So very exciting for that to happen. And then we went to our fleet topping out ceremony for our new fleet facility that's in sort of, I guess, would be considered East Loveland area, and really excited for that new facility to come on board. We have an older facility that's aging and not really great for our workforce. This will be not only provide a better environment for our workforce, but will be more efficient for all the vehicles that are serviced by that fleet facility. So that was really a great celebration. On Sunday, I attended a Purim celebration with some of our Jewish neighbors, which was really fun. I did know the story of Esther, but I learned a lot more about the story of Esther at Purim. So thank you for our Jewish community members for inviting me to that event. And while I bring up a religious holiday, just note that there are many religions right now that are having holidays. This is springtime of holidays, and so Hindus are celebrating Holi, and Christians are celebrating Holy Week, and Muslims are celebrating Ramadan. So for everybody who is celebrating a religious holiday this week, we wish you peace and joy in your celebrations. And then finally on Monday, yesterday, I attended a BIPOC meeting, so Black, Indigenous, and People of Color meeting, where they wanted to talk a lot about community justice. And so we talked a lot about community corrections and alternative sentencing, let them know kind of what we're doing in that space and how we're really innovative and we're really increasing programming and treatment options for people who are in these programs. And so I think they were very intrigued, it was a great learning opportunity for them, and invited them to kind of come to some of our meetings and visit the facilities, because we're really proud of the work that we're doing around community justice alternatives and diverting people from jail and prison. So that is it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Shaddock McNally.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'll go back a little bit to Monday because I forgot to mention the Technical Advisory Committee and the Consumer Advisory Committee that are serving under the Behavioral Health Policy Committee. They're subcommittees, and we have some really dedicated and hardworking folks. They've been having a lot of meetings looking at funding priorities for the next grant cycle for the behavioral health impact grants. And so those were really powerful conversations, and we'll be having a meeting on April 1st with all three committees coming together to talk about their recommendations. And I want to thank everyone for their service. Just really important conversations, and it continues, the work continues. We've had a successful 5 years of impact grants for our first phase of our behavioral health initiative, and now we're kind of into that first grant cycle, the second phase, and I'm excited about that. I did enjoy the Climate Smart celebration that we had, and thank you again to Heidi Pruis and Abby for all the great work and our partners with that. I still have folks talking to me about that and the Climate Smart plan and some of the work we're doing, and we're going to have that update as I'm doing on April 6th. It's I wanted to make a note that's at the High Plains Environmental Center, which is just a wonderful building and lots to learn there. And the connection is right on the lake. You can walk out and look at the pelicans, but how they even designed the parking lot and the flow from the runoff in the parking lot goes through all these plants and rocks and rivers before it gets to the lake, and it kind of filters the water. And the whole garden that they have planted for the last 10 years is doesn't need irrigation, but it's just lush, and they have a willow room that it's. If you haven't been out there, I hope you'll come join us on April 6th. It's really a wonderful area and great conversations, and it's a really it's got tanks and fish and all kinds of things inside. It's a great center. So that was really great. I am really excited as we testified and worked on our broadband bill, House Bill 1334, for us to continue with our work to get broadband to our underserved communities passed out of the House on Friday. Been working really hard. We had a lot of conversations with some of the stakeholders last week, and thank you to Representative Basenecker for his work on that. He's been a great leader with that, and also we had lots of folks during that discussion who praised his stakeholdering and his leadership and his collaboration, and we've it's been really a great conversation, and thanks to Mark Pfaffinger and Chad and Brianna and all those folks, and I forgot the people from Longmont and the other, but there have been a lot of technical folks who spent a lot of time with this bill, and I just really appreciate them and all their expertise. It's been a great experience. Last week, we had on Wednesday, was great to talk with folks from the Larimer County Sandbox, the nonprofit that's looking to bring people all together at the new facility in Loveland that the Larimer County, as we as commissioners gave $1.5 million for the purchase of the building that is now where the Boys and Girls Club and expanding. Teaching Tree is on the bottom, and they've expanded. It used to be a former charter school that's moved across the street, and to know that there's over 250 spots new for childcare, and then what they're trying to do is bring all these nonprofits together to collaborate for the long vision and work for families and childcare, and putting everything into one spot, whether it be healthcare, dental care, mental health services, all these things, so working families don't have to drive all over the place for appointments and stuff. So I really appreciate them coming to talk to us and share their vision and what they're looking to do together. I will try to attend the Veterans Together meeting virtually, but I was in a spot where my broadband, my internet service and my connection just kept dropping. I had been able to go out and meet, some reporters had asked to come out and talk about our new Blue Mountain property. And it was a quick little meeting, but it was great to be out there and to see the wetlands that are, the streams were flowing very high from all of the melting from the snow, and it was great to see the wetlands just alive and kicking, and that was just exciting to be out on the property again. The elk are not there. There are currently over a couple hogbacks in my yard, so if you're traveling on the west side of Loveland, please slow down and be careful, especially at night. There are lots and lots of elk on the west side of Loveland, and there's been a few folks that have unfortunately hit a couple of those and they have passed. So I just want to make sure everyone be really careful with a lot of wildlife moving around, especially some of the darker parts of the unincorporated parts of the county, that we just kind of think about that and slow down, because I've seen a lot of things that have been sad. I had some meetings up in Estes with community conversations on Thursday. I had 4 different meetings. It was quite the Estes day, and in between I had a community conversation. I met in the morning with some folks about their concerns about the comprehensive plan and the meeting, and in the middle of that I also had my Rural Action Caucus for the National Association of Counties, but I looked across the valley, as on the north side of the valley, and I saw the smoke coming from outside on the other side of the valley, and I thought I knew exactly what was happening, so I had just enough time to jump in my car and drive all the way over to Lily Lake, where they were doing pile burning on Rocky National Park's grounds, and there's been lots of piles of slash there for a couple of years as I hiked. I have lots of pictures of them I can show you. And they were had 3 vehicles there, and they were up on the side of Lily Lake doing pile burning. So that was very visible, and it was great to be able to go and witness kind of the work that they're doing to reduce our wildfire risk. We met at the Senior Center before I came down to have my Estes Park Advisory meeting, and wow, what a buzzing little senior center there in Estes Park. There's several tables of folks playing cards and people getting coffee and people doing some exercises. And it's a small little building, but very, very full and active. And it was great to hang out with them and talk. And then we had our Estes Valley Planning Advisory meeting, which they're continuing to evaluate, some questions about the comprehensive plan and what's next for them, and I'm sure they'll have some things coming up on their schedule that will keep them busy. And we had our Forest Health Council meeting on Friday, which I chair, the Legislative Committee for the Forest Health Council meeting. And we had our first deliberation meeting on topics and ideas that we'll present to the Governor's Office and the General Assembly and the Wildfire Interim Committee, Matters and Committee at the end of the summer. We're already planning for our 2025 legislative priorities If you can believe that, the session's not over, and we're already planning for activities and legislative recommendations for next year. And so that was a very robust but very effective meeting, and I was very excited because we stayed focused and we got through our entire agenda with 1 minute to spare, and I was very excited that we got a list that we feel really confident about, and we're going to be further defining that next week. I'm really grateful to attend the bird whistle ribbon cutting. Thank you to Elevation Land Trust, the City of Fort Collins, and I forgot the other group that was a part of this. I know we're very proud to have given $1.5 million of our American Rescue Plan dollars to help close the gap funding for this project. I think these are wonderful homes. Got to tour them. It was great to be part of the ribbon cutting ceremony. I think the 2-bedroom starts at around $250,000, and the 3-bedroom around $290,000. These are permanently affordable. Permanently will be affordable housing, and just excited for that partnership. And these townhomes, the project's called Bird Whistle, and I just wanted to kind of share, for those maybe wondering what does bird whistle mean. This is about named after Mr. Charles Bird Whistle, who is a distinguished figure in Fort Collins history, and really exemplified resilience and service his whole life. He enlisted at the age of 17 in the Spanish-American War and fought alongside the Buffalo Soldiers and later in the Philippines. And he settled in Fort Collins after his service and became a pillar in the community and was known for his leadership and generosity and entrepreneurship, but mostly and very much so for his hospitality. And they were just welcoming visitors to northern Colorado from all walks of life. And he just left such a huge mark on the history of Fort Collins that I think it's really fitting that he's got this project named after him and his family. So I think it's really a cool opportunity to connect history with some of the projects for families, and really exciting to have that. The fleet topping ceremony was great. Thank you, Ken Cooper and facilities, and Lorenda, thank you all for that opportunity to share with our partners. The contract is TCI. They were very excited. They were great hosts. It was great to hang out with them and tour around. I have to say, I'm very jealous of their views, but the views from upstairs for the office, $1 billion views of the Front Range, just stunning from that top. There's small area. Most of the areas are the big garages where they'll have all the maintenance and all the cars, but the little tiny area upstairs for all the offices for our directors and the folks that work there, and the little balcony there. Wow, just really excited for them to have such an amazing view. And then we already talked about project self-sufficiency, really great to attend that ceremony. In the middle of it, I kind of dived out to run down to Loveland to celebrate with Sunrise Community Health Center and be invited to give a speech. And I was texting to make sure I had the numbers right. But they broke ground off of 287 near the North Walmart and 65th. It will have another community health center there, which will also have dental care and addiction services through the Northern Colorado Health Alliance. And just really excited they picked that location because of the demographics and AMI in that area. And they will, with just 12 exam rooms fully staffed, will see over 5,000 people a year in that center. And then they're going to look to open another 12 exam rooms, which will almost double that. And this will create, just in the first phase, 30 to 35 jobs, really well-paying jobs, and just really community health centers in our community are such unsung heroes. They're just innovators, they're healers, and they bring all these folks together to treat for those who have maybe trouble affording or be able to get health care. And I just want to thank them for expanding in our county. They've done great work. They were really important to getting mobile, partnering with all of us and getting vaccinations done during the COVID pandemic. And so just want to congratulate them on a job well done and thank them for expanding in the county. And then I went back to the project self-sufficiency. Just really great work, and I appreciate the opportunity to come and celebrate them and throw some dirt. And I think that's all I have to share. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'll just highlight a couple of things since a number of these things we all attended together. With regard to the Climate Smart Future Ready celebration, one thing I wanted to point out there is that it is pretty significant because we're moving into an action phase, and also they've developed a state-of-the-art community dashboard, and I think if you go to larimer.org/CSFR, it's really an excellent tool if people are interested in getting into some of the details, the different focus areas, strategies, and the actionable items. So I wanted to share that. In the spirit of what Commissioner Stevens was saying, I actually attended an iftar on Tuesday night. A family from Turkey invited me as part of the celebration for Ramadan. And also, the Orthodox Easter is actually May 5th this year, so I get to celebrate Easter twice. But it was really, really wonderful to be with this family from Turkey to celebrate breaking the fast and celebrating together. On Wednesday, I attended a good part of the 2024 Talent Summit at the Ranch. This was sponsored by the Fort Collins Chamber and others, and they had a variety of speakers. It was really good, and one of the speakers was from the Colorado Workforce Development Council, and they highlighted, for example, they have a 2023 talent pipeline report, and a lot of it based on, for example, 76% of top jobs requiring some type of post-secondary education or training past a high school diploma. All kinds of interesting information. So I was there. I was able to attend the Veterans Together meeting on Wednesday, and it was a bit bigger crowd. One of the follow-up items I want to connect with the VSO, the Lee Cooper and Jenny, to talk about how we might do more outreach for that, because typically we don't get a lot of folks showing up, and they provide updates to the VA and things of that nature. So we may get together and talk about that and see what else we could do differently. The 101 thing was great. It was a lot of fun. I always learn a lot when I stick around the whole night. Certainly our budget folks have refined their performance, and not only is it lots of fun, you actually can learn and understand some of the intricacies of our budget. Matthew sent me that Budget 101 presentation if anybody would like to see it, and I was impressed by the caliber of the students, a good mix across the spectrum, and they did have some really excellent questions, really probing, good questions. Friday, bird whistle, fleet topping, project self-sufficiency. It was a good day. That's all I've got. We don't have any legal matters. It's 10:03 a.m., and we are adjourned.